Welcome to another episode of Movie Moments. Today we're diving into a brief but powerful scene from Kodachrome, a heartfelt indie film that follows a son and his estranged father on a road trip to develop a handful of rolls of Kodachrome film before the processing lab shuts down forever. And while there are a number of moments within this film that make it worthy of inclusion within this series, the one that had me most choked up and rubbing my eyes, buttery fingers and all, took place near the movie's end. Yes, the movie's end. So if you've not seen this film and you wish to keep the element of surprise intact, stop watching now. You have been warned. In this memorable scene, the father dies. Not really much of a spoiler given the fact that at the start of the movie we found out he's dying. Nonetheless, this death scene hits home with me having lost my own father, whom I deeply loved in 2023. This father-son relationship, however, was strained for most of the film, and yet when the son, played by Jason Sudeikis, finds his father, played by Ed Norton, has passed away in the chair of their hotel room, all the years of frustration seem to, in that moment, dissipate. In fact, Sudeikis plays this scene flawlessly, in my opinion. You can physically see his facial expression drop more with each frame until at last he sits down opposite his father and simply says, "Okay, Dad. Okay." 3 words, 2 really, that sum up everything about this movie and their relationship. For one, it's the first time in the entire film he's called him Dad. But second, this word, okay, well, it's an acknowledgement, as I see it, of 2 things. One, this is a surrender to the moment. After years of bitterness and unresolved tension, the son in this story is accepting that whatever resolution existed, from this moment forward, it would have to be enough. There would be no more time to fix the past. This was instead an acceptance of the present. The simplicity of okay captures our ability as humans to let go of our resistance. It reminds me of something I experienced several years ago when I was facing a particularly difficult time. A dear friend told me then that sometimes when we find ourselves struggling against the flow of life's raging river, the best thing we can do is give ourselves over to it and trust that at some point it will throw us safely ashore where life can once again resume. I felt that in this scene. The son's surrender to the onslaught of emotion, a willingness to let go. No more list of grievances, no more pressing for an apology, just a straightforward willingness to make peace with things as imperfect as they were. Something else, though, I believe exists within this line, okay, Dad, okay, and it's this, a surrender to the process. So first point, it's okay, in the sense that we did the best we could with what we were given, and I've come to terms with that. But it's also okay in the sense that now that you've passed, I'm actually free to move on to a new phase of the relationship. What am I referring to? Well, there's this interesting thing that I found to be true in my own life as well as others I've witnessed, and that is that healing can happen in life and death. It would be wonderful if the father in this story had lived long enough to see all things reconciled, but he didn't. And yet after his death, a bit of the story continues, and with it comes further resolve for the son. In this story, that's by way of photographs left behind that point back to a time before the scars were created. But it comes in other ways as well. Sometimes it's a story that's been told to us by someone else that sheds light on another version, a better version perhaps, of the person we knew. Sometimes it's internal. So many of the traits that we have are passed on from parent to child, for better or worse, but I can't begin to tell you how many times since my father's passed that I've said things and done things just like he did. And while again, at times it's for the worse because some traits we don't want find their way in, at other times it's something familiar that simply reminds me of him in fonder ways. And while that's easier to come by when the relationship is good, I've seen others with not so good relationships have similar moments that have helped heal the wounds by providing context or a connection to the parent or empathy for what they struggled with when they were alive or a fresh understanding of the burdens they carried. All of it, though, contributes to the potential healing that's possible on the other side of the loss. So, yes, okay because I've surrendered to this moment, but okay because I've surrendered to the process as well. And I realize for some this is difficult. But I would just add this. While we can't control the mother or father we've had, we can control the son or daughter we become. And that, my friend, is available to us before their passing, and thankfully, even after. Okay, Dad. Okay. If you've enjoyed today's breakdown, hit that button, like, subscribe to Movie Moments yet to come, as well as reactions, reviews, box office updates, and more. And let us know in the comments today, have you seen this film? Does this scene resonate with you? And if you have seen this film, what other scenes from it have left an imprint on you? Let's talk about it below.